The New England Patriots, Drake Maye, absolutely, positively, obviously, dominating against the New York Giants. And I specifically brought this screen up because if you're watching the game, you know how crazy this is. Most plays by rookies through week 12. We got the mighty Cleveland Browns, who are playing pretty high quality football. We got the New York Jets, who are also playing some pretty mighty football. And then, of course, we got the Tennessee Titans. They might be the most dominant team in the NFL. And we got the New England Patriots up there with 3,500 plays. And they are actually an unbelievable team. Actually, dare I say, dominant team. I'm going to talk about this on Tuesday because a lot of times people don't really watch this clip Monday night, unless it's like a huge, big game, an important game. Not a lot of people watch this, especially New England Patriots fans, despite me saying, please, Patriots fans, watch the full length of video. Please, Patriots fans, subscribe so I can keep making Patriots videos so we can keep this party going. But there is a real argument. I'm talking about this year. I'm not making any value statements on what happened in the past, how things are going to go into the future. I don't care about any of that. I really don't. But right now, this season, as you guys know, I talk about coach-quarterback duos. And if you have a defensive coach, then I look at it through the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, who, of course, the Patriots have with Josh. There is a real argument that Drake and Josh are the best coach-quarterback duo in the NFL this season. There is a real argument with that. You could say, well, Stafford's having an unbelievable year. McVay, again, awesome. They're great. I'm not downplaying them. They're elite. They're special. But there's a lot of Puka. There is a lot of Devontae. I mean, this is a thing of beauty, what we're witnessing here. This is coaching. This is why I wanted this up here. This is coaching, both offensively and defensively, of course. This is coaching. This is culture. This fundamentally matters. This really does. And listen, I always downplay games when you're going up against a lower level team, right? And I've said this like weeks ago at this point, that Drake Maye has graduated from highlighting against lower opponents, and that the Patriots in general are, that like it only means so much. And I always go, if it's, Mahomes does it and Josh does it, like I don't really care. It's blah 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 blah. And that's all fair. And I stand by those types of statements. But multiple things can be true where I can still compliment the intensity and the effort that the Patriots put into this game, and still the quality of play. Because these numbers, it's not like this is just juiced up. Yeah, you're playing a team that's weak, a team that can't do anything. You're getting great field position just every single time. Like, this is easy. Your running back had 200 and some yards. Like this, and that's all well and good. But like the types of throws that Drake Maye is making, the decision making, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I don't care who you're going up against. It's the quality that I'm looking for. I kind of treat this game almost kind of like how I look at a preseason game for like a rookie, where I'm just like, I'm looking for the quality. I'm looking how composed you are, how comfortable you are. Obviously, I don't care about that right now because Drake Maye's legit, so I don't need to figure out like how comfortable and confident you are. But I'm looking at the quality of play, the quality of touchdowns, the difficulty of throws that you're making, the reads you're making, your balance between taking shots downfield, checking it down, using your legs, right? It's just all that type of stuff, and not just taking advantage of a team that's clearly struggling, not good, etc., etc. And it's just Drake Maye and this New England Patriots team is just so impressive. And again, right, the defense was impressive. Jackson Dart impressed me in this game even. So Jackson Dart has nothing to work with and has to carry this entire team, quite frankly. So it's just like I won't get too lost in the defensive stance from the Patriots, but I can still appreciate the level of intentionality and intensity that they brought. As Troy Aikman said, a game like this is kind of always tough for teams when you're doing well, you're going into the bye afterwards, and you're playing a lower level team. It's just natural human nature to just kind of already stack up. You're like, oh, we got this game's easy, and we got the bye coming up. Like you already kind of start to check out, right? You kind of try to give yourself extra time. It's just human nature. And that's why Troy was just kind of like, you always kind of worry about, that type of situation. And there was no sense of that. it was just intensity, special teams. I mean, there was a couple wild special teams. I mean, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were just laughing. I actually felt bad almost, just because, their kickers not having the best season or two, quite frankly. But he technically didn't miss any field goals. So he is perfect, technically speaking. Then obviously you had the punt return, which was just simple, easy, But I mean, there's never, the reason why I don't always love these games is because there's just never anything to really unpack too deeply. There's nothing for me to praise, and if anything, there's only things for me to pick apart, even though you win 33-15, because again, I'm always looking to have the conversation, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And I could be like, well, they're in the red zone 5 times and only scored once. What's up with that? And it is kind of true. It's like, what's up with that? But, I think under different circumstances, I would, if the Patriots weren't playing as good as they had been, then that would be something that you'd really hang on and be like, listen, you beat a bad team. They're not good. You were fortunate with the punt return. You were fortunate with the blah, 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 blah. But, like, you got to the red zone 5 times and only converted once. Like, what, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And it's not going to cut it, right? Because you can't bank on, some of just essentially how the New York Giants played this game of football, right? Like, you can't expect that against the better teams. But I mean, listen, this season is just so incredibly wild. The New England Patriots genuinely have just of a good a chance. And I've said this all day today, all Monday, if we're looking at all the contenders right now of who's the top teams in the NFL, the Rams and the Broncos and the Patriots and whatever teams you want to use, doesn't matter. The Patriots have just as great of a chance as any of these other teams to win a Super Bowl. I really, really firmly believe that, and I'll emphasize that on Tuesday. The 2 things that I'll emphasize on Tuesday are Drake and Josh, top coach quarterback duo, and the Patriots having a genuine chance of winning the Super Bowl just as much as any of the other teams out there. I don't see a strong reason why we should elevate the Rams, the Broncos, the Seahawks. Again, like, whatever teams you want to use. You could say, well, that's Stafford and that's McVay and they have experience. And I get it. And it's worth discussing if the time comes. But as of right now in December, I personally just don't have a strong reason to believe that they get the edge, right? And I felt that way with Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders in the first 2 rounds. I didn't feel that way against the Eagles, and that ended up being correct. I did feel that way against the Bucks and the Lions, and that ended up being correct. So you can't just dismiss a team that because they're young, when they have the culture, when they have the quarterback, when they have the coaching staff, the coach who's won multiple Super Bowls obviously as a player, Josh who's won Super Bowls obviously as a coach. Like, you got the culture, you got the pieces, you got the dudes in key spots, and the young players that need to step up are stepping up. And Drake Maye, the guy's already a 10-year vet in his prime. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Drake Maye is unbelievable. He is elite. He is special. And there are not many quarterbacks that I would take over him right now. In fact, you could make the argument that if we were going to play the whole, well, we have to consider age right now. You have to consider age. You have to consider health. You have to consider that. Who would you want right now? You'd be hard-pressed to find many quarterbacks, if any. Because Stafford, you got to factor in the age. Lamar Jackson, you got to factor in the age, health, etc. You got to factor it in. Jaden Daniels, I'm mega high on Jaden. Got to factor in the health, etc., etc. You can make the argument, like, who would you genuinely pick over Drake Maye right now? Like, if you had to say, like, I have this franchise for the next 10 years, there's a real argument that if you say, I'm going to have a quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, who do I want, Drake or Patrick Mahomes? There's a real argument that you would say, I'm going to pick Drake Maye because of his youth, because of the runway that the man has ahead of him. Yes, I know Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. Yes, I know Josh Allen is unbelievable. Are they going to be unbelievable in 6 years? I don't know. Is Drake Maye going to be unbelievable in 6 years? Most definitely. Absolutely, unless there's just the worst luck in the world, and I'm just not gonna, build a take around that. I don't gotta be doom and gloom and pessimism. But like, it's just what we're seeing is special. What we're seeing is genuinely special. And it's just remarkable what happens when you combine talent with great coaching. And everyone who needed an offensive coordinator that did not go out and get Josh, they look foolish. They look foolish. Yes, he didn't have a ton of success as a head coach. There's a lot going on when you're a head coach. You got to deal with a million different things. But anyone who needed a coordinator, who genuinely needed a coordinator and did not say, we'll take that guy who's had an insane amount of success, you look foolish. You look foolish. And so this team is built to be awesome for years and years and years and years and years. I can't wait to hear everyone be like, well, what about? And I guess they won't consider it a sophomore slump, but they'll be like, a sophomore slump for Drake Maye. And it's like, that won't happen when you're a great quarterback and you have great coaching and you just have a good enough team around you. So I can't wait for that offseason talk in like March, April, and May, where they'll be like, can Drake, sustain his success? Expect a step back this season, and it's just like, yeah, sure, whatever you guys say. Well, remember CJ Stroud, and remember, and it's like, yeah, whatever you say. I can't wait for that. But we don't got to get there just yet. We don't got to jump to March, April, May, June, July, August, because I promise you right now, those conversations are coming. But what does he have? The highest completion percentage to the start of his career in 20 plus games, whatever the official number was. This guy's just different, man. This is special. And I just would recommend you just appreciate what you're seeing. Even if you hate the Patriots, even if you want them to fail so badly, you want them to be terrible so badly, sometimes you just got to sit back and appreciate greatness. And I'll have a lot of repeat takes on Tuesday about that for more people to actually genuinely hear it. Because this is just watching Drake Maye. I get bored a lot of times when I'm watching, non-competitive games. I'm watching a game like this, and obviously I think the Patriots are going to win, and if the Patriots win, it also continues to prove my take correctly. But a part of me, I'm still kind of like, I hope Jackson Dart scores here. Like, I want some action. Troy Aikman was like, oh, that could have been a pick six, and then the game would have changed. And like, part of me was like, well, I don't want Drake Maye to get a pick six, but like, I don't know, a fumble, scoop, and score on another player, so we can like, I don't know, let's see some action. Like, I want competitiveness. Monday night, I want the drama. That's why last night was awesome, watching the Commanders and the Broncos. I'm like, yeah. I was like, don't go for the 2-point conversion, get the extra point, and then I want to see Bo Nix have the ball with 2 minutes to go again. Like, that's what I want to see here. But even in a game that really wasn't competitive, except for the coin flip, you're still able to watch greatness. You're still able to watch such high quality ball. So I love to see it, man. If you love football, you will love to watch Drake Maye play. If you have a question about your quarterback, if you're like, is Baker Mayfield truly elite? Is Kyler Murray? Should the Cardinals stick with Kyler Murray? What should the Dolphins do with Tua? If you have any of these, is the quarterback is he a good passer or great passer or an elite passer? If you have any questions, if you have any quarterback where you're like, I don't know, isn't he? Just watch a very young Drake Maye play and you go, oh, that's what you're looking for. Oh, okay, I get it now. It's a little bit different when you see like a Mahomes or a Josh Allen, whose physicality, physical traits, the amount of success that a Mahomes has had is through the roof, obviously. Look at a Drake Maye and you'll say, oh, that's the difference. I see now. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the MVP Drake Maye? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.